Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning into these videos. In this video, I want to read a few precepts that I had lined up. But first, I want to read this in Matthew 11, verse 16. And this is something that when Yahweh Shai was on the scene, he was preaching and prophesying of days to come, the good news about the kingdom and how we're going to inherit it so long as we have integrity. You know, that part right there is really mainly for the 144,000 elect, because this message is going to go out to the four corners of the earth, and it's going to accomplish that what it was sent to do, which is to galvanize the elect and get them out from whatever situation they're in, whatever lifestyle in, so that they can come and sup with Yahweh Shai. So this right here is basically the highest level knowledge. Even just going into the milk is very heavy in comparison to whatever the world has to offer. So I'm going to read this here in Matthew 11, verse 16. I'll start at verse, I'll start at verse 14. It says, "And if ye will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear." Because this message right here goes back all the way to all the other prophets who are speaking this same message. And so in verse 16 it says, "But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling out to their fellows." And so Yahweh Shai is basically comparing the Israelites at his time of what they were doing. Basically, they're like children at the marketplace. And verse 17 it says, "And saying, We have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented." And these are things that we deal with also, because we're servants of Yahweh Shai. We're going to do the same thing also. The servant is not greater than his master. So we're going to deal with a lot of children, a lot of older children too, like how they're old bottles. They can't have new wine, because the majority of our people are not going to get this message. They're going to be left out of the wedding that we're invited to. And we're letting you know about this wedding, but there's a dress code to it. There's something that you have to actually do in order to be part of the 144,000 elect. That's why we consider ourselves the hopeful elect, because we're striving for that. We want to be a partaker of that wedding, being in good graces with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But just as in Yahweh Shai's times, even before that, in Elijah's times, Jeremiah's times, they were dealing with a stiff-necked people, the 2/3 of the nation of Israel. But nonetheless, we're going to still preach. So I'm going to read this again in verse 17. It says, "And saying, We have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and he say he hath the devil." And so that's kind of like the situation we see ourselves in. A lot of people are not going to get this message. "He that hath ears to hear, let him hear." We're not worried about those who disregard this message. Or like how the elder brother from South Carolina, he did a video that these scoffers, pretty much, if you can't beat them, scoff them. It's because these people really can't go up against the doctrine that we're preaching. All they could do is scoff. And so when you are actually with a person who wants to learn, who wants to actually get down with the doctrine that we're preaching, because of how it's implied what is going to take place with prophecy, you want to be in good graces. You want to be invited to that wedding. And so you start to adhere to the wisdom, knowledge, understanding that we're preaching. Let me get that in Isaiah. Just real quick. Yeah, this wisdom is likened unto gold. So this is in Isaiah 33, and I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation." And that's the main thing right there that I want to emphasize in this video, because that wedding is basically when Yahweh Shai returns and gathers his elect who are standing stiffly for his name, who are doing the right things in these times. They're not like the children in the marketplaces just running around while Yahweh Shai is preaching, piping unto him song, but they're not dancing. They're not lamenting. But to the hopeful elect, you actually see that. When Yahweh Shai returns, he will find faith on the earth. So this is in Isaiah 33:6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure." And so we have to keep this treasure, that the wisdom, knowledge, understanding. And with that, we also have to hone it. We can't just sit on it like a napkin, or like the parable of the guy who put the gold under a napkin. See, all these parables and precepts line up with each other. And I'm going to read a few precepts before I get into one of the parables of the 10 virgins. First precept I want to read is in Proverbs 4:7. "Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding." And so this right here is the main wisdom right here, which is going to lead to salvation, like I just read in Isaiah 33:6. This is for salvation. This is to keep you stable in these times that are about to come. Another precept is in Proverbs 22:6. "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." And all of us are born again through Yahweh Shai. And now we're retaining this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, so long as we endure. Because this really is supposed to be like a thing that, like, as a parent is teaching their kids, but none of us down here had that grace where we had a parent who was in their right mind. But now you do see that. You have brothers in this ministry who have seed, who have kids, who are training them up in a way where it's upright and just. So then Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai will bless us and take care of us. Because really, we were supposed to have this as kids. But now, we're a little older. The thing is, though, is through Yahweh Shai, we're born again. We're able to apply these learning lessons now. And also, we're learning day by day. We're sharpening the iron with each other. We're training each other, and we're looking out for each other. This is something that the Spirit is allowing us to do. Stand upon our feet again when we were once a valley of dry bones. And it's all through thy precepts. This is in Psalms 119 and 104. "Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way." And really, you meet a brother or a member of this ministry, we filter everything through the scriptures, because we know that all this, what was given in the scriptures, was given for us to be stable in these times. Wisdom and knowledge. Whatever situation arises, you can open the scriptures and you can apply lessons that are written in there that will assist you in whatever you're going through. So with that, I want to read to finish off this lesson. And this is in Matthew 25. And let me see. Yeah, starting from the top. It says, "Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps, and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 of them were foolish." This represents the divide here. So you got the straight and narrow, and the broad gate that leadeth to death and destruction. We are part of that straight and narrow, being not a part of this world, not entangled with it and the affairs and the cares of it. We are more focused on Yahweh Shai. So we are considered the wise ones here, because we're the only ones doing what is required of us to do in these last times, is to basically prove your faith. Okay, so in verse 13 it says, "They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him." Because this is something also that Yahweh Shai is going to return when everybody is caught off guard. Yahweh Shai is going to be as if a thief in the night, where you're not aware, not privy to it. And also, like, where it's nighttime, you're not going to be able to see and discern that. But the hopeful elect, because they have that lamp, that oil, they're looking for and hastening the return of Yahweh Shai, because nobody wants the kingdom more than those who are preaching the scriptures. We are on our watch. We are looking for and hastening for Yahushai's return, as opposed to the 2/3 who pretty much put all this on the back burner. They didn't get their lamps ready. They're not prepared for the wedding. So I'm going to read from, let me see, from verse 6. It says, and at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins rose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourself. And so that's going to be a pitiful case for the 2/3 when they're going to be in whatever predicament that they're going to find themselves in. Whereas the hopeful elect, whatever predicament they're in, we have the oil. We have the wisdom, knowledge, understanding that's going to get us through from point A to point B. Point A being where we're at right now, going through Jacob's trouble, all the trials and tribulations, to point B, the finale, when Yahushua returns, and that we, Lord's will, meet him in the clouds. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakodash, Shalom Akim.